So I've just been to see the movie Glass. That's the kind of comic book superhero follow-up to Unbreakable and also Split. Um, so the first thing I would suggest is make sure, if you want to get the best out of this movie, make sure that you have actually seen Unbreakable and Split. Particularly, I would say Split. Now, I'm quite lucky. I didn't even realise. I was really looking forward to seeing Glass. I just thought it was a pure follow-up to Unbreakable. And luckily, just before I came to see it, my sister told me that Split, it's a follow-up to Split. And I said, no, it's a follow-up to Unbreakable. But it turns out it's actually a follow-up to both of them. So, luckily, I watched Split last night, which I absolutely loved, by the way. I thought that was an amazing film. Absolutely brilliant. James McAvoy is just fantastic in that. And I'm so pleased I'd seen it, because if you hadn't seen Split, you would just have no clue as to what's going on with the James McAvoy character in the movie Glass. The other two characters, you've got obviously Samuel L. Jackson and Brad Pitt, not Brad Pitt, Bruce Willis. You know, one's a tough guy, one's a really weak guy. Doesn't really take too much to cotton on to that fact. So if you hadn't seen Unbreakable, it wouldn't be disastrous, as long as you basically know the gist, which you pick up pretty quickly anyway, about who each character is. One's tough, one's weak, polar opposites. But if you haven't seen Split, you are just not going to get the most out of this movie. In fact, it's the James McAvoy character that makes this movie. I just think he's absolutely fantastic. I love the movie Split. If you like the movie Split, you're going to like this movie, because it's more of James McAvoy and his fantastic Split personality. Just so entertaining, absolutely brilliant. So whatever you do, make sure you've seen Split. If you haven't, I probably wouldn't bother going to the cinema to see Glass. I would just wait till it comes out on DVD. So that's my heads up, big warning. I got lucky. I saw Split last night and I just loved the follow on. The characters' names, his individual personas were fresh in my mind, so that was quite helpful. I was like, oh yes, I know who you're talking about. Patricia, Dennis, Barry, you know. Really good. Really good. Loved the movie Split, and I was really excited to see this movie. And I've got to be honest, I've come away from the movie feeling almost depressed. It might sound like a strange thing to say, but I'm disappointed. So I hadn't seen the trailer for Glass. I didn't know what to expect, but it wasn't what I was expecting. Now initially, I kind of didn't mind it not being what I expected, because I think I was just like thoroughly enjoying seeing more of the James McAvoy character, and he was bringing a smile to my face. He was making me chuckle. I was actually the only person in the audience at times that was laughing, so maybe they hadn't seen Split, or maybe they just didn't like his character as much as I did. But he's what made the movie, and initially he made me get over my disappointment. Not disappointment, but my, oh, I didn't expect the movie to be like this. Didn't expect it to be like that at all. And about midway through, I was thinking, is this annoying me too much to the point where it's going to spoil the movie? And it didn't, not quite. And to be honest, for most of the movie, I was thoroughly enjoying it and thinking, yeah, this is a cracker. I love where this is going. Oh, what's going to happen? But I'm afraid ultimately, on the whole, having come out, I'm not particularly pleased with the movie. So that's a shame. But it does make me want to go and watch Split again, and that's a movie I'm going to continually enjoy watching, and I'm probably going to watch this again. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty points. Is it a movie that you have to see at the cinema? Well, as I've previously mentioned, if you haven't seen Split, absolutely not. Do not go to the cinema to see this. If you haven't seen Unbreakable, but you have seen Split, fine. That's no problem. What it'll do is it'll make you want to go and watch Unbreakable, and I think you'll enjoy Unbreakable almost as a prequel effect, like what we see with a lot of comic book hero type movies, where you know they might bring out a prequel later in the sequence. So, you know, you would go, but I could imagine anybody that hasn't seen Unbreakable and watches that movie would really get a good kick out of going and watching Unbreakable and seeing how the characters of Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis came about. But in terms of, do you need to see it at the cinema? It's not the kind of movie that has spectacular visual effects like your DC or your Marvel movies. So you could absolutely 100% get away with just watching this at home, and I think you could get just as much satisfaction out of it, because there aren't, you know, spectacular scenes that are visually only going to be done justice by the big cinema screen. So you don't have to see it at the cinema. Is it worth seeing at the cinema? Yes, if you like The Split, if you're a comic book action movie fan, yes. But just, I don't know, maybe if you've seen the trailer, you might know what to expect, I don't know. But for me, I've come away feeling a little bit disappointed with the movie. And that's not anything to do with James McAvoy or the actors, it was to do with how the story was told. So I'm personally feel a little bit disappointed right now. If I'd paid £10 to go and see that, I would probably maybe be regretting it. I don't know. There's not a great deal of amazing things out of the cinema right now, so but yeah, that's how I feel. I do feel a little bit deflated. But if you can go and see it for a couple of quid, you know, on a buy one get one free day, or £2.95 Empire, whatever offer there might be on. I'm a Cineworld pass guy, so I can see as many movies as I want for a fixed monthly fee of like 17 quid, which is a bargain. So I kind of feel like every movie I see is free. So, but nevertheless, I do still feel a little bit having come out of that. What would I give it out of 10? I would actually, I was going to say 8, but I think I might just drop it down to maybe a 7.8, just under 8, 7.8. There was maybe times during the movie I was thinking it might have been a 9, maybe a 8.5, 9, but I think it's probably a 7.8. It's decent. I don't want to say too much about it, because obviously I don't want to give any clues whatsoever as to what happens in the story. This isn't a Marvel or a DC franchise, it's something different. So do you need to hang around at the end? Well, no, unfortunately you don't. I waited till the very last piece of film left the cinema screen. Everybody else had gone. There was still those kind of like visual credits going on, where it's not just a black screen with the credits. There was fractured pieces of glass, and each piece of glass had a little image on, which was quite nice. So I'm thinking, yeah, cool, there's gonna be something at the end, but no, there absolutely wasn't. So basically, as soon as the movie ends, you can go straight away. There's nothing else to see. And one additional feature that I'm going to bring to my reviews is snack time. What kind of snacks can you have at this movie? Now, for the first hour, it was a very kind of quiet movie where there was a lot of like silent scenes with talking, and let's just put it this way, if you were eating popcorn and you're trying to be courteous to your fellow cinema goers, you would have been hardly having any chances to eat it. You know, when you're waiting for the noisy bits where you can like shovel it down your mouth, there weren't many of those at all. It was so on this particular movie, I would suggest ice cream would be the optimal snack, something that doesn't make any noise. So I'm going to add this feature to all of my movie reviews. Yeah, this was a quiety. So yeah, I'd maybe go for the ice cream. Stay away from the noisy, rustly snacks on this particular movie. What else am I missing? Is it worth seeing at the cinema? We've done that. Giving it a 7 out of 10. Who's it for? If you like your comic book, if you like James McAvoy, you know you're gonna enjoy this movie. It's got Sammy J in, Bruce Willis. I'm gonna have to stop talking about this because you know, my ultimate disappointment in the movie has probably come across, and I don't really want to give you any spoilers because I'd love to talk about this movie. I'd love to talk about how I really feel. You know, I might have to start up a secondary chapter to each movie where I can talk openly about the movies, but I can't really say much about this, so I'm going to leave it there. Disappointment is what I've walked away from on this movie. Let me know what you think, and I'll say no more, and I think we'll leave it there on this particular review. So yeah, Glass. See you on the next review.